128-110, not the result the Kings were looking for post All-Star break. It was a tough fourth quarter. It was a lot of mistakes, turnovers that led to easy buckets. We can talk about that 2.5 to 3, about 3:30 in real time, that Sabonis went to the bench to end the third. They went on the run. They counted that last shot, which originally did not count. They were down by 5 going into the fourth. Then they went on a 6-0 run. So that's an 11-2 in about 3 minutes. No Sabonis. Tough. I was talking to Jason Anderson about that in the post-game media, and he actually asked Coach Gentry, and he just kind of blew it off. And I mean, it's hard to really remember those type of things in game. I'm sure he'll recognize it and talk about it during the film session tomorrow, leading up to the game on the road once again against this very good Nuggets team, by the way. We'll get into that, but how y'all doing? I'm seeing the comments going crazy. Man, it's crazy. It's going to be a hell of a show, man. Shout out to Medici Sacramento for sponsoring this episode of the live CK postgame show directly from the Golden One Center. I appreciate all this love and support always from all our sponsors. So let's get to it, man. Sabonis against Joker, the Jokic, Nikola Jokic, Domantas Sabonis. Went at it tonight. And honestly, Sabonis had a really good game. Like, one can say that he actually had a better individual game. And if he just crossed those out, right, it's a scratch. The Kings lost the game with the other 4 guys, right? Because Will Barton, I'm going to say this right now, he ain't no scrub. Will Barton can play. Now, I see the comments on Instagram, the disrespect. He's not 31 points good, but he's definitely like 18 points good. I don't know if he's averaging that, but he's a hooper. The guy's a hooper. I thought Austin Rivers, in 27 minutes, he only had 9 points, but it's a defensive tenacity that he brought. He caused turnovers. He really shook the Kings, man. His physicality. He had that breakaway steal against Dante DiVincenzo. He was a better Dante DiVincenzo tonight. Let's be honest, right? Dante has some good moments, but Austin Rivers, man, he's tough. He's strong. 4 of 8. 1 of 4 from beyond the arc. What was it? 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He only had 1 steal, but his defensive tenacity led to a lot of good shots for that team, man, in transition. Like, it may not show up in the box score, but he had a really, really strong impact for that team, right? Joker is just a pleasure to watch. He truly is a joy, but just the back and forth between him and Sabonis was just amazing to watch the first 3 quarters. Sabonis talked about the fourth and the mistakes, the turnovers, right? The Kings had a total of 15 turnovers tonight. That's unacceptable. It just can't happen, right? They lost the rebounding battle, 39-34. 26 assists to 26 assists to 24, or to 30 assists, sorry. It's kind of hard to read the whole thing, but they shot 50%, but I'm with Coach on this one, with Coach Gentry, that the 50% is a little bit of an outlying stat tonight, just because they only shot 31% from beyond the arc, and the threes that they needed to make, they did not make, right? So it's just one of those things. And, they weren't bad from the free throw line, 83%. Kings would take that every single time. But it's the other things, man. It's just those mistakes, those live ball errors that lead to easy buckets. The music's too loud, my bad. My bad, Hezzy. The music's off. Sabonis outplayed Jokic. Fox got outplayed. Will Barton. And too many turnovers, yeah. No doubt about it. No doubt. Trade Fox now. What happened? Performance by the Kings. Stupid disappointment. I'm done. Good night. Frustrating. I'm done. Good night. See you next one. Either way, Leo, you're beautiful. I support yourselves and everything, but in your sponsorship, I support them all. Okay, sorry. So I'm frustrated. I mean, I appreciate you, bro. Honestly, if they lose 2-3 more games, I'd rather tank and then trade a pick to get a great player. That's definitely an option. I was talking to some media guys and just thinking about this offseason, the biggest offseason in Sacramento Kings history. They got to trade that pick, right? Unless it's like a top 5 pick. But if it's anywhere from 7 to 14, which is very likely to happen, they got to trade that pick and get a real starter. And it doesn't have to be an all-star, but when you look at this roster, the one thing that's still missing is the 5th starter. Harrison Barnes is a starter. De'Aaron Fox is a starter. Sabonis is a starter. Oof. Holiday, debatable. So you got, Rashawn Holmes when he's right, when he's there all the way, which again did not play tonight. I told somebody, I forget who it was, that I was going to keep him accountable to it. He was fine all day, and then I guess it was a late game scratch. I don't know what happened. I need to figure it out and ask him questions from his camp, but it's not a good look. I get it. Like, he's going through a lot. The back hurts, he's sore, but with 22 games left, he needs to really perform well and give this team the energy that only he can give, because when he's right, he's a hell of a basketball player. Like, he really is. And if he just excels and accepts that role off the bench, man, he could be really good for this team. I hope he plays next game because they sorely needed him tonight with that weak side protection, his perimeter defense. Although I will say that Damian Jones did a good job, right? Only played 10 minutes, 2 of 3, 6 points. But Rashawn Holmes, man, he needs to play, plain and simple. To me, Maurice Harkless, he can't start, man. And I know I've been critical of Josh Jackson in the past, even during the draft process, thinking he would be the bust out of the top 5 guys, but he's still a good role player off your bench. And right now, I would personally start Dante, right? But I know what I have him meant to, which I like. He's a bench player. Mo's a bench player. You gotta go. You might have to go with Josh, but the odds of that, because Trey Lyles ain't it, man. I'm gonna say that right now. Like, Trey Lyles ain't it. I don't see it. I know it's one game, but I'm not a fan. I'm truly not. And he's not shooting well enough for me to be a fan, right? So, no, he only played 5 minutes, but in those 5 minutes, man, he looked terrible. He looked terrible. Davion obviously got to play 30 minutes plus every night. He did tonight, 30 minutes, 3 of 10, 7 points. He was 0 of 4 from beyond the arc. You got to be better, man. You got some quality looks. He just got to knock him down. He needs to knock him down. Jeremy Lamb did what he had to do. I thought he was a bright spot. He was a -10, but, 11 points in 20 minutes. He did his job. 4 of 8 from the field, 50%. He did his job. I'm not mad at him, man. He gave the Kings that push, that energy, and that scoring ability that he does possess, right? Sporadic player, but you need that coming off your bench. You do. You need that microwave-type score off your bench. They lost that with TD, but they got that with Jeremy. So definitely a nice player coming off your bench. He got size. Not good defensively, but, it is what it is. Justin Holiday today, 28 minutes. He only took 4 shots, 5 points. He needs to take more shots. I get it. The Nuggets are playing him tight. So it makes sense. They took him out of the game. So it makes a lot of sense to me. But, man, Kings ruined a great night from Sabonis. 15 of 23, 14 boards, 6 assists, 33 points. My goodness. He was hooping, man. He's spinning in the lane, both hands, ambidextrous, right? Whew. Ruined a great night. Fox needs to play better. 20 points. He really had 14, right? He had those last 6 points down the stretch, but he didn't have his finest moment. I truly do think that this whole NFT thing was a huge distraction for him. Whether you think I'm making excuses, it's a human element. It truly is. It was a huge distraction. Just imagine someone, hundreds of people calling you a scam, right? Like, feeling like a scumbag, when in reality, I don't believe that he scammed anybody. Like, De'Aaron Fox, the human being, did not scam anybody. That's my take. I'll have more information tomorrow. Like, I'm going to have my boy Kamani come on and really break down the whole situation. Someone who's really immersed in the NFT space. He knows it very well, and it'll be fun to pick his brains for sure. But I thought that was a huge distraction for him. Harrison Barnes got to be better, right? 14 points, 4 or 7, 7 rebounds. I think he needs to give you 18 points at least, honestly. Not a terrible game, but, it's one of those things where if he has 14, you need Justin to play better, or you need Davion to score more, or if that's Dante scoring more. But Dante, 3 of 7, 2 of 6 from beyond the arc, 8 points. Had his moments, but, man, the others got to play better. The others got to play better. I'm going to take some of these questions real quick. Let's see. What does that say? Honestly, this is from Chai Garcia. If they lose 2-3 more, I addressed that one. Music's too loud. Agreed, my bad. Regardless of what happens, I really like the Sabonis and Fox cornerstones. I love it, bro. I truly do. They got something cooking there for sure. Holiday and Hark are not starters. Yeah. For sure not Harkless. Like, Holiday, borderline. If he's shooting 38%, because he brings it. He's actually a very good defender. Like, he truly is. So, it just depends on what he's shooting, right? On this team, he's for sure a starter. Sabonis' defense isn't that bad like people say. It's bad. It's not that bad. Like, what does that truly mean? TD wouldn't be a starter 2 with their current roster. Wouldn't be a bad starter. Yeah. I'd rather start Dante, to be honest with you. I think he's actually good defensively. Like, he's really good defensively, but he needs to shoot the ball better, right? Dante reminded me of Buddy making some threes, but missing a lot. However, his defense is the difference. Him and Mitch is going to be a problem on D. I also think he's rushed right now. He was very loose with the ball tonight, which is not a good thing. But whether that be nerves or a new situation, that needs to stop. Like, that can't happen, right? Imagine having Desmond Bain starting next to Fox. That would be fire. Well, he started next to Joss. Yeah. That's a guy that you can find in the draft if you have a great scouting department, right? Physical, was a junior or senior at TCU. Solid player, man. He turned into something better, definitely. Will the Kings make the playoffs? Probably not, but this is definitely a building next 21 games type of season. They got to end on the good note, in my opinion. No tanking, none of that. Start building your winning habits now, because to me, they're going to trade the pick regardless. So that's my take on it. But you know, it is what it is. They got to face this team again, and Friday night. It's like Sabonis said, they need to fix these little mistakes that are killing them. He missed a layup. It was after, I think they were down by 10. They called a timeout. It was a confusion. It was very confusing where Davion took a charge, but for some reason there was a huge delay, and then kind of messed up some of the rhythm. Don't know what it is, man, but the Kings got to be better in the fourth quarter. They competed, right? The end result may not be, it may look like, oh, same old Kings, but the vibes are different. The energy was totally different. They were down by double digits, came back in the third quarter. You know, the old Kings team would have really gotten blown out in the third quarter. They made it into a game. Again, it's that stretch where, as a head coach, and I've said this 1,000 times, I don't think Alvin Gentry is a guy. Let me reiterate that. I know Alvin Gentry is not the guy, but you got to give him a chance. And it just sucks because when will Monty chooses his guy? And that's the real question, right? But that stretch really killed them. It really did. Taking him out with a minute about 40 in the third, and, you know, they counted that shot, and they were down by 5, and then next thing you know, 6-0 run. You're down double digits, man. That's an 11-2 run. That can't happen. That can't happen, man. With Joker on the bench, that can't happen. So it's those little things. Like, you got to stop those runs. Like, you got to have Fox, Sabonis, at least one of them out there. Like, you can't put them both on the bench. You can't. And that's just where the Kings are at right now. Right? But, hey, man, that's going to do it, y'all. I appreciate you guys again. This show is presented by Medici Sacramento. Make sure you support your local businesses. They have amazing pizza. Closest thing to Italy. So, again, if you guys want these dope hats, man, let me know. DM me. Sold 2 today at the game. And sold about 4 the other day. They're going hot. They're going out fast, man. So hit me up before all of them are out for sure. 25 games, y'all. Give it a full 20 games and make your assessment. I mean, that's the rational thing to do. But we're fans, man. Or fans will be fans, man. You know how it goes, brother. I appreciate you commenting. But we'll do more film sessions. Hope you guys enjoyed last night's film session of De'Aaron Fox. Again, I agree with Derek. It's definitely a beautiful duo to have, man. They're only going to get better with more time. That's the 2 foundational pieces that you've been looking for. So, you know, it is what it is. Appreciate you guys. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.